But here's what's coming up. Hello, Jacob Elordi. Hello, Oscar Isaac. Hello, Adam Sandler. We are having a great morning, and the reason I come up a little more pumped because we're going to turn up the volume right now, because this next one is an absolute crowd pleaser. An absolute crowd pleaser, and last week the Grammy nominations agree with this. K-pop demon hunters. Making Netflix history, making Grammy history, an absolute action-packed, music-fueled adventure that asks the question that you're all asking. What if your favorite K-pop idols were saving the world, between tour stops? Something we all want to know. This is going to be stylish. It is kinetic. It is bursting with irresistible energy that stays with you. A perfect fusion of pop spectacle and supernatural mayhem. Film features an incredible soundtrack crafted by EJAE. Yes. Whose hits have powered some of the biggest moments in K-pop, and original songs for the incredible songwriter Mark Sonnenblick. Let's hear it for Mark Sonnenblick.
Yeah.
So, if by chance you haven't seen K-pop Demon Hunters yet, well, just get ready, because the songs in this film are going to stay with you 4 days for all of the right reasons. They're just going to lift you up, make you happy. This is a film that is fierce, it's funny, most importantly, full of heart. Proof that girl power sounds even better when it comes with a battle cry. Get ready, because here is your look at K-pop Demon Hunters.
Hello, or should I say, 안녕하세요. My name is Stephen Lee, and I'm on the To-Doom team at Netflix. And if you're anything like me, that was not the first time you heard Golden today, or even this hour. So that's why it's such an honor to speak to two of the people who created all that pop perfection, Mark Sonnenblick and EJAE.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for being here. It's very exciting to talk to you, but let's go all the way back to the beginning, from when you first signed on to this project. Did either of you even dream that Golden and the soundtrack and the film at large would ever get as huge as it has?
Definitely not.
No. Well, yeah, a dream, it's just so far beyond anything I could even begin to imagine, I think.
Again, to us it was a hit, but not to this level. We didn't think it'd get this far, but yeah.
Yeah, because it's such a first. So when you heard the premise of the film, demons and the K-pop idols who slay them, what kind of world of sound did you even imagine that, the song could even sound like?
Well, I feel like you've been on that journey for so long.
Well, yeah, I think, I was in the project 4 or 5 years ago, and in the beginning, I came in as a songwriter, and it was our job to kind of figure out that sound exactly. And I think, as a K-pop writer myself, Girl Crush, it kind of made sense, the badass, sound, like the kind of hip hop trap kind of vibe, but like sonically, like vocally too, just like really being powerful and just like crazy high vocals, like it kind of made sense to go that direction. So, yeah.
Right, so EJ, you're rooted in K-pop and also pop production, and Mark, you come from musical theater and film. How did you kind of find a shared language when you were writing these songs?
I think that's the part of the beauty of movies in general, but songwriting too, is the collaboration. And you're going in and where do your sensibilities line up and overlap. And I was a very basic K-pop fan.
We both love music.
Yeah.
We both are in New York.
Yes.
That was great and super helpful. And also just you're right. I think, you taught me some musical theater music that was really, really cool, and I showed you some cool K-pop songs.
Yeah, you're making me playlists.
Yeah.
Coming in. Yeah, but in the writing too, I think like just learn so much from you because I come from, I mean, we both like know songwriting, but
Differently too.
yeah, like a different style, and to get to come into these sessions kind of with the brief from Maggie and from Chris and from Ian, our amazing executive music producer, and figure out how do we tell the story, which is more the tradition I come from, but do it in a way that is a banger in the voice of these characters and the way they sound, which is like where you come from.
Exactly. I mean, I think it was just like, we had a great collaboration because, you know, oftentimes, you know, I would be kind of figuring out like a strong melody that would really work, that Ruby's gonna sing and these girls, that's gonna help save the world. No pressure, but like, you know, I mean, that's where it would start. And then like, I feel like it was great because like, I would have like my pop referee head and you would have your storyline referee head. So it was great that like, we can be both kind of telling each other, hey, like, let's go back to the story, or like, hey, let's go back to the melody, because the melody is super strong. Let's not, because there are certain words that can ruin the melody, you know what I mean? Or it just seems awkward. And that was really important to kind of go back and forth with that.
Yeah, because we would come in typically, I mean, Golden is one example where you just kind of know section by section what needs to happen for the character, for the story, or how it's done. I mean, the opening, it wasn't how it's done yet, but that was the first one that we really dove into together, and knowing this is what the first verse needs to cover, this is what the second verse needs to cover, this is what happens in the chorus, is really mapped specifically by, again, like so many of the filmmakers along with us, and that's kind of there before the songwriting happens a little bit, and so then the music of it, the melody of it, like everything that you're so brilliant at, that like, and lyrics too, we have this framework that we can keep going back to. It's like, is it matching up with this? Is it matching up with that? Kind of throughout, which is different than obviously if you're writing, you know, an amazing piece of music, just kind of for an artist or for your own project or something like that.
Yeah, and one thing that's so interesting is that with K-pop, you do mix English lyrics with, you know, sometimes a line of Korean. And how did you kind of choose like what sounds better or what serves the song better in Korean?
You know, for that, you know, that was actually the direction from Maggie and Chris. Like, they would kind of choose what parts they want to be in Korean, and then they would, you know, tell me that, and like, hey, can you know, this part's like, put the Koreans here. And yeah, I think being bilingual is incredibly helpful. Like, wow. And so I think as a Korean American who is bilingual, I kind of know the nuances of each language, and like, I know that this, like, I get, you know, like translating English to Korean is super hard because it's the opposite when it comes to the grammar. So like, trying to figure that out, also for me what's really important to have earworm is rhyming it. So having Korean words that rhyme with golden, you know. Right. Like, I needed that earworm, and also having the same message. So yeah, I think that's what it is, and also has to sing really well. So me knowing that I'm a singer also was super helpful, because I would sing it out and be like, oh, yeah, I can sing this, yeah.
Korean's so good for that, like machine gun kind of like rhythm too. Yeah. So let's talk about Golden, that little song, 1 billion streams, amazing. Yeah. So how did Golden first take shape? What, you know, was it like, you know, some direction from Maggie and Chris, or where did that come from?
Well, yeah, I mean, everything starts with the story, and Maggie and Chris, and again, Michelle and Ian, everyone who was kind of, Michelle, our amazing producer, who, what does the song need to do in the moment? And there were a couple, or many songs before this version of Golden that were like, oh, okay, there was a song called Forever Gold, and there's something just called Gold.
I had to say the demo, so they're all equally hard. They're very hard songs.
Yeah, well, they had to be, that's a big part of it, is like the melody was supposed to be superhuman, because Rumi, the idea is that her voice and the, yeah, exactly. The pressure she puts on herself, it's like, I'm the only one who can steal the home moon, and knowing over the course, although it changed in different ways, but where it ended up, the first part of the song, you're gonna hear the recorded track, so you hear whatever the high note is, and you'll hear it sung gorgeously. But then by the end of the song, after you learn more about her, we can probably do spoilers here. People have seen the movie, right? Rumi is happy.
I've seen it.
But once you know that, then by the end, she's not gonna be able to sing it in the rehearsal, and mapping that out and I mean, that's when you were writing that melody.
Yeah. The famous, or no, it's a secret, right? I don't know. The story of, On the Way to Dentist.
Yeah,
melody.
you came up with this song.
Well, the melody, yeah, specifically. But yeah, when I was honored to have the, scene, to write for the scene, they gave us the track, and we have a deadline, so I had to listen to it immediately. And it was on in the taxi on the way to dentist. It's a cool feeling. I always have to bring that up. But yes, and the melody came out really fast because again the track, Teddy, Ito, and 24 killed it with the track, and it was like a bittersweet kind of texture to it at the beginning, as you can hear, like, right? And so the melody, came out really fast, and then the was the first thing that came out, and then the whole hook, to be honest, and brought it to Mark. I love great Zoom sessions that we always have.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of like.
Not always that great though. It's not always like where it starts, where it's like.
That was a great one.
Well, let me sing you this, and it's like, wow, yeah.
But I would usually lay down a bunch of melodies, verse and pre as well, and have options for Mark, and we would together Frankenstein the whole song together, and again with the golden the lyrical part too, and that song was just it felt like it was meant to be honest, but and that's how it we were super excited once we were finished, and we were just this sounds like a smash.
Yeah, and really a huge shout out to Teddy and Ido and 24 too, because I feel like you hear the first part of that track. So they're with the Black label, which writes and produces for Blackpink and so many different amazing artists. But right from the beginning, you hear that na, 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 that kind of synth vocal chop, whatever it is, and you feel something. And that's part of what the process was too, was Maggie and Chris, and again, kind of everybody, but their vision. Do they respond to the sound of the music before a melody is even written, before a lyric's even written? And that was kind of, the track came in and just this gorgeous, bittersweet thing that it's okay, great. And the melody isn't there, the lyrics aren't there, but you feel what the character is feeling, and that was the kind of the alchemy of that on this song. I think was also really strong.
Yeah. And EJ, you were also the singing voice of our main girl Rumi, and you have a super human voice. And as the song was taking shape, were you almost I'm making this hard on myself. I'm gonna have to sing this.
I mean, honestly, Mark would say that. He's you're gonna sing this.
Yeah, and we was well, fortunately, I'm never gonna have to do this.
I'm not gonna have to do it. That's totally fine. I don't know. No, but it was intentional for me. It's whether it's hard to sing or not, it was, again, the song's really important. To me, the song is king, and we have to deliver. So that's more important.
Yeah, and EJ, the lyrics, I mean, they're being sung by a half-demon, K-pop idol, Demon Slayer, but I feel the lyrics are probably very relatable to a lot of people, but then also, coming up through K-pop, the stakes can be so high, there's so much pressure. Did you really relate to that part of the song as well while you were writing it?
100%. Not just as a Korean person, the idea of shame and hiding the shame is definitely present. But just also being a K-pop idol trainee myself, because I was in it for a very long time, for 10 years, and I think it was the idea, Rumi is a complex character where she is strong, but she has, again, her vulnerable side of her demons that she's ashamed of, and always having to put her best foot forward and look perfect, and having to seal the whole moon and being the leader. I definitely relate to that as a trainee. You have to be perfect, look perfect, and be great at dancing and singing and acting in Chinese and Japanese. So and that was a lot of pressure, and so I definitely understood, that feeling of how exhausting that could be. And so I think that's where, I was able to relate to the lyrics, and it was honestly very cathartic for me, because it's honestly it was great that it kind of synced with what I was going through. So I think I kind of put a little bit of personal touch probably in it, you know, for me.
No, the personal touch definitely comes through. And how did it feel being in the recording booth, you know, for the first time after writing it? How did it, yeah.
You know, it was crazy because when they asked me to do the singer, I was like, you know what, that's sufficient. You know, like, I can just record at home, you know? With my
Well, EJ's an incredible vocal producer too. So, I mean, the demos, is she like, not only relationship with your voice, but I feel like with the studio is so strong for you.
Yeah. So like for me, like all the songs, the demos were recorded at home in my little bedroom in New York, the corner of it. So, you know, I thought it would be efficient and I would skip steps, but no, Ian, music executive, was like, no, you're coming to
Coming in.
And I get stage fright, and the studio is huge in New York. So, but thankfully we have an incredible team. Ian just made me feel so comfortable. Shout out to Eric, our engineer, and Sully, and you know, it was really, really great. So I think because of that comfortable like environment, it was great, and also just what do you call? Ian was like, well, not when we were singing Golden, I was just like constantly saying like, oh, I hope I never have to sing this live. And like, God laughed. Exactly.
Oh no, exactly. Yeah, because the song really has a life of its own now. What are some of the milestones or, you know, places the song has gone that have kind of been the most meaningful or exciting?
I mean, I think there are so many videos and moments where you see, and comments and messages from, because it is, especially outside the movies, it is a song of healing and of coming into your own and moving past maybe darker parts of who you've been or ways that other people have brought you down or the life has brought you down. And I mean, there are things, comments, and I mean the video of you know, Singer at the end of Life Clinic is one, which is particularly like in tears. But I think just for me overall, it's that making something that means so much to you when you're making it, you just never know if it's gonna break through and reach out. And part of that is the movie too. And I'm just grateful to the fans who have responded to everything about this, including Golden.
Well, thank you both so much. Thank you, EJ and Mark.